What is up, guys? It's TimeForDillon back at it again with another crypto video. What is up, guys? It's TimeForDillon back at it again with another crypto video. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are awesome. If you're new here, subscribe, bell icon, get notified when I post new videos because it's all time sensitive. In today's video, got to talk about what's going on with yellow freight. We got to talk about what's happening with CPI data. Inflation keeps going up. And of course, we got to talk about all this bullish news about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, all your favorite cryptos. We're going to talk about all of it. Your reason why you need to buy Bitcoin right now. And I got some good news. If you guys watched my last video about yellow freight, my dad used to work there. He lost his job, but we got some good news. He managed to get an even better job. So I'm super happy for my dad. I'm going to talk about that at the end of the video. But of course, first things first, we always got to talk about what's going on with the crypto market. As you guys know, really hasn't been much movement in the crypto space over the last couple months. It's just been waiting for some fantastic news to break about, where the direction of crypto is going to be heading. You guys know how I feel about crypto. Big Bitcoin bull. I love Bitcoin. It is the most secure digital asset on the planet. It is bolstered by asymmetric and symmetric encryption. The SHA-256 hash algorithm. Do some research on this. It is uncrackable. It is unhackable. It is a decentralized network, which is controlled by people like me who offer the computing power to validate transactions on the network. There's millions of us that do this, and we are the people that control the network. There's no single entity out there that can fake transactions. There's no single entity out there that can make more Bitcoin. It's impossible. You need to get that through your head if you want to understand cryptocurrency and if you want to understand Bitcoin. Bitcoin is unhackable. You need to understand that. It's decentralized, it's peer-to-peer, and because of that, no single entity will ever have the ability to take over the network. This is why people love Bitcoin. This is why the government doesn't want you to have it, because they can't control it. It's that simple. But of course, there's been fantastic news over the last couple weeks that we got to talk about that makes Bitcoin the #1 asset you need to keep your eyes on right now. Because right now, we are heading into this world where billionaires, the largest asset managers on the planet, are starting to acquire Bitcoin. And you need to buy and hold Bitcoin before they get it. Because if you do, you're going to be rich. You're going to be rich. People that have been buying Bitcoin over the last couple of years have already made life-changing wealth, myself included. Ridiculous sums of money that we have made. All because we are willing to take a chance on a speculative asset class. Now, of course, leading up to this news that's been dropping over the last couple of weeks, it truly has been speculative. But as we get big name individuals, big name companies, the likes of which all of you know, that continue to jump into the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency space, it's starting to become less speculative and more inevitable than ever. So we have to talk about all of this in today's video. Make sure you guys stay tuned until the end. Quick little thing I want to talk about. Yellow freight. Of course, I just made a video about it 2 days ago where I let you guys know. Of course, yellow freight. I made the announcement that they were filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, closing down basically as we know it. Now, I did get a lot of people commenting on my video saying that they actually know for a fact yellow freight has been selling trucks. We had some individuals actually say that they know people that have bought the trucks. Crazy. So, Chapter 11 bankruptcy is not Chapter 7. Chapter 7 bankruptcy is the type where they liquidate. So, I don't know what's going on. Maybe they're just trying to sell a couple trucks. I don't know. Doesn't look good. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't really care because my dad is out of there. Super happy. Now, I made this GoFundMe for my dad because, we were a little uncertain about what he was going to do for work. Whoever gave $10, you guys are awesome. I don't know who gave $10. I asked my family. No one in my family gave $10. So whoever you are, thank you for being a kind individual. I'm sure you're going to get a refund because there's no way we're going to hit this goal. But I just thought it was cool that someone out there felt like giving $10. You're awesome. Thank you so much. But my dad managed to secure a job at Unfi. UNFI, which is a food processing company. Basically, they like deliver groceries to grocery stores. Awesome company, well-run company, managed well. He's going to be making more money working here, working less as hard. Because if you guys know Yellow Freight, my dad would go into the terminal every single day. Truck driver would have to go on the dock and load his own truck. Would spend 2.5 hours every single day loading his truck. I mean, he's not a dock worker. He's a truck driver. Little ridiculous. I mean, many of the people that worked at Yellow Freight know how poorly managed his company was. So good riddance to Yellow Freight, 99-year-old trucking company, 30,000 employees out of work. Many of people lost all their insurance and pension. It sucks, but it's a silver lining because now we can all recreate ourselves, get better jobs at better companies, better paying jobs, more security. So shout out to my dad for managing to secure a job at Unfi. And I hope all of you guys that are in the same situation as my dad manage to find good work soon. So I just quickly wanted to talk about this, but of course, I talked about this in my last video. And now, of course, today, CNBC basically saying exactly what I said 2 days ago. Price hikes loom for consumers with the loss of Yellow Trucking. Now, I talked about this ad nauseum in my last video because Yellow Freight was known as a company that would do the strange shipments, would make connection routes from terminal to terminal for big companies that couldn't make those types of trips. They offered the cheapest pricing for consumers and companies out there that wanted to ship products because they had a ridiculous amount of terminals all across the country. Central United States is where Yellow Freight really made its biggest mark. Now, since Yellow Freight is gone, there's no more low options out there. Now, I talked about this in my last video. UPS just struck a ridiculous historic contractual agreement with the union workers and now are going to be offering high pay for the workers, which is great. It's great for the workers. But that money, the price of paying those workers more, it's going to be passed on to the consumers. So not only are we losing Yellow Freight, low-cost shipments for consumers and companies around the world, but also UPS is going to be charging more for products and parcels, of course. And I would not be surprised if FEDEX, ABF, all the other companies came out and did the exact same thing. Get ready. Prices are going up, just like the prices of everything else in the country. Now today, Wednesday, August 10th, 2023, we had more CPI data, Consumer Price Index data, come out, showing that inflation is, of course, going up. Now, we did see for quite some time, it looked as though CPI data was slowing down. Now, last year, I think we had a peak of 9.2 or 9.3% inflation last year. So to get it down to where it's at today is, of course, a good feat. It is definitely a positive. 3.2% is much better than 9%. But we can't forget that this is still too high. 3.2%. 3.2% of your purchasing power is being taken from you month over month. That's not a good thing. The target inflation for our country, the Federal Reserve sets it at 2% inflation year over year. So we're currently 60% higher than that number, right? If it was 3%, we'd be exactly 50% higher. 3.2 is 60% higher than our target inflation rate. Let me ask you a question. Is your paycheck going up by 60%? You already know that. You already know the answer. No, it's not. It's not. So this is the problem. And I'm sure all of you are experiencing this issue right now in life. Inflation, i.e. the price of goods, gas, groceries, leisure, going to the movies, buying fun toys at the store, video game, everything. The price of everything continues to go up. And your paycheck continues to stay right at about the same level. This right here is an indirect taxation without your consent, inflation. It's not a good thing. And this is why, if you have cash sitting in the bank, many wise individuals, much wiser than I, have been suggesting for a long time to diversify your assets. Put it in something that will at least keep up with the pace of inflation, or at least do a little bit better than sitting in the bank. Let's just be real. So this is why a lot of people love Bitcoin. Because we've seen over the last 3-4 years, trillions of dollars have been printed out of thin air because of COVID. Of course, we could argue whether or not that was justified. I think some of it was. We had a new virus nobody knew about, whatever. We had to print money. Okay, maybe the last couple bills weren't justified. Who cares? Trillions of dollars were injected into our economy. What does that do? We're starting to feel it now. It makes the purchasing power of your dollar go down. So this is why people have been jumping into Bitcoin. Not just me, not just the internet sleuths like me, people on YouTube, the no-name individuals like me, some 1,200 follower individual. Who cares what I say? Let's look at what the big boys are doing. For starters, Dave Rubenstein. Who is Dave Rubenstein? Dave Rubenstein is the individual behind the Carlyle Group. He is an individual worth approximately $3.3 billion himself, who manages $385 billion of assets under management. Okay? Huge company. What did he say just a couple days ago? Bitcoin isn't going away. Where did he get this idea? Well, he was interviewed by Mike Novogratz. Google him. Galaxy Digital founder. This dude was one of the first people to get behind Bitcoin back when it was worth $100. Okay? Do the math. $100 to $30,000? Homeboy's worth a lot of money. Bet your bottom dollar. Him, as well as all the individuals he told to buy Bitcoin back in the day, never have to work a day in their life again. Let that sink in. Now, this individual, Mike Novogratz, people are going to take his opinion much more wisely. They're going to listen to him more than they would listen to me. That's what I'm trying to say. That's why I'm telling you guys to look at these people. Fuck my opinion. I'm just some internet dude. Look at these guys, the billionaire investors. They're bullish on Bitcoin because they're starting to understand the need for monetary policy that is not controlled by any single entity. Like I've been trying to say with Bitcoin. If you guys are brand new to Bitcoin, it is secured. Can't be cracked, can't be hacked. I laid all that out, right? Asymmetric, symmetric encryption, SHA-256 hacks algorithm. There's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin that will ever exist in the world. That's it. 19.5 million of which are already in circulation. Some estimate that about 3 million of which are lost because the people that first got into Bitcoin had no idea where it would come today. So a lot of those people threw out their computers that have Bitcoin on and they will never see it again. So there's a lot of Bitcoin that are lost, which just simply means it makes Bitcoin, the Bitcoin that still exists and is in circulation, much more scarce. So people are starting to realize the importance of this because of all the trillions of dollars we've seen printed over the last couple of years and seeing how that affects the purchasing power of our money sitting in the banks. So people are starting to wake up. The billionaires, David Rubenstein, a couple days ago we had PayPal come out, talk about launching cryptocurrency payments with stablecoins. Huge news. They already sell Bitcoin. They already sell Ethereum. They already sell Litecoin. Now, of course, why do you think Maxine Waters is deeply concerned about PayPal? The government can't control it. It is that simple. 32 separate times, you can Google it, China has banned Bitcoin. It has done nothing. It has done nothing to Bitcoin because they can't control it. And people realize that. Regardless of these stupid, idiotic, dumb fucking representatives in our country coming out and talking shit on Bitcoin, it does nothing. Back when Bitcoin was brand new, sure, this would have made Bitcoin plunge to the depths of hell. But Bitcoin is resilient. The number of individuals that keep jumping in to the network hash rate, the number of people that are mining Bitcoin, transacting on Bitcoin, operating, offering their computing power to secure the Bitcoin network like me. I set my computer up to validate transactions. It runs all night. It uses a lot of electricity, but I get Bitcoin in return. There's millions of us out there that are operating this network. And we do it because we know the government can't control it. And we want money that can't be inflated into oblivion. That's the importance of Bitcoin. People need to wake up and understand that. So Dave Rubenstein, $385 billion assets under management, just talking about Bitcoin. Keep in mind, Bitcoin, right now market cap, $572 billion market cap. Dave Rubenstein's company, it's not even half I mean, it's a little bit more than half of the market cap of Bitcoin right now. So if he starts throwing money in, bingo, bango, price is going to start going up. But more important than Dave Rubenstein and the Carlyle Group, $385 billion of assets under management, is BlackRock. BlackRock, the largest asset manager on the planet, with 11 trillion, with a T, trillion dollars of assets under management, is getting into Bitcoin. 6 months away from having their Bitcoin spot ETF approved. What will this do for the market? This is going to allow individuals in the stock market that don't want to deal with the technicality of Bitcoin. They don't want to have to deal with having a wallet, right? They don't want to have to deal with having one of these suckers to hold their crypto on, right? Because what if you lose this, right? You don't want to deal with that. Just let the stock boys hold it for you, right? This is huge for crypto because it's going to allow institutional investors that have been scared about jumping into the crypto space because they don't want to deal with the complexities of the technology and they don't want to deal with the government. They don't want to dealing with regulatory uncertainty from the government. They can buy this in the stock market and not have to worry. They'll have exposure to Bitcoin, and guess what? They won't have to deal with any of the laws because it's already established in the books. You can buy stocks. So this is a big, right here, game changer for the crypto space because finally it will allow institutional investors to jump in stress-free. Not to mention, we just had the SEC, Securities Exchange Commission, lose a major court battle against XRP. This is a multi-year battle that has been going on, that has been basically the linchpin of the government fighting against cryptocurrency. And they lost. They lost the court battle. Of course, they're going to appeal. They're going to lose. They're not going to win. So much precedence will be established from this court battle. 7 years in the making. And the U.S. government lost. So many different companies this little fucking weasel has come after. Gary Gensler, this little bastard, has come after so many companies that he knows can never fight properly against the endless supply and money of the U.S. government. So all the companies, of course, they just fold. Because what are they going to do? They're going to run out of money in legal battles, of course. They can't fight the government. But XRP, multi-billion-dollar company, fifth cryptocurrency, $33 billion of money in this company, was able to fight and did not lie down, and they won, which is going to establish precedents for the cryptocurrency space, which will do what? Will allow institutional investors to feel a level of clarity and certainty that they will not be messed with if they decide to get into the cryptocurrency space. Big win for the cryptocurrency space. But of course, it goes on and on and on. Okay, like I said, BlackRock, $11 trillion of assets under management. Imagine if they just decide to put 10% of the assets that they have into Bitcoin. That would be roughly $1.1 trillion. What would that do to the price of Bitcoin? That would send Bitcoin to roughly $100,000 per Bitcoin overnight. And we're just getting started. This is BlackRock. What else? ARK Invest. How big is ARK Invest? Billions of dollars. What else? Grayscale. Billions of dollars. What else? Stanley Druckenmiller, billionaire. Billions of dollars assets under management. Talks about Bitcoin. What else? Tim Cook. Apple loves Bitcoin. Now let me say, with Apple, I'm holding off on Apple a little bit. I'm not too sure that Apple will be integrating cryptocurrency into their system anytime soon because of Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett. They both come out definitely against Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Of course, they're 99 years old. I mean, I would never understand someone like that who's made billions of dollars in the traditional space, not really tech heavy, to want something like Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. So I totally understand. I'm not trying to throw any shade at them. They're well-established billionaires. I mean, they know what they're doing. But at the same time, I don't expect any major development for Apple until Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett are out of the picture, because they control Vanguard and they control Berkshire Hathaway, which are both majority stakeholders of Apple. So until they're gone out of the picture, I'm not really suspecting Apple will do anything unless they feel pressure from somebody like PayPal. PayPal, one of the largest independent transaction processing agencies is now introducing cryptocurrency. So of course, my guess is that Apple, as well as Google, will probably feel a little bit of fire under their ass to introduce cryptocurrency to their payment systems. Probably Google first, followed by Apple. That's going to be my guess. These companies don't want to miss out on a ridiculously huge market share of cryptocurrency payments, which is coming. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. What else? Amazon CEO, even though he does not hold cryptocurrency, we know that Amazon has already implemented NFT marketplaces in their ecosystem. They've hired blockchain developers for the past 2 years, which have been working on this and something else, payments probably, even though they've said they don't expect payments to come anytime soon. That's just lip service. We all know it. Fidelity came out with cryptocurrency platform. Fidelity, one of the largest asset managers in the world. I think they're the 4th largest asset manager in the world with like $3 trillion assets under management. Came out. What did they do? Crypto. Of course, they offer crypto. So many individuals around the world have 401ks and retirement plans with Fidelity, which now if they just put 5% into Bitcoin, we are talking ridiculous gains for this asset. This is what I'm trying to talk about. What else? Vanguard, the 3rd largest asset manager in the world with like $4 or $5 trillion assets under management, June 12th, less than a month ago, decides to make a $600 million investment into Bitcoin. This is just the start. Plus we have, of course, like I pointed out earlier, on-chain data, which points to Bitcoin being successful. Hash rate, number of people that are offering their computing power to validate transactions on the network, keeps going up. Bitcoin halving is coming in less than a year. So many great pieces of news coming time and time again. It is time. If you don't know anything about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, it's time to do some research now. Because you don't want to get in after the billionaires get in. This is what I tell all my friends. I understand if you do not want to over leverage yourself and put a lot of money into the cryptocurrency space. I get it. What I will say is this, of course, the number one thing goes without saying. Don't invest more than you're willing to lose. That goes without saying. But in order to make high rewards, we need to take risk. Right now is the time to take that risk. I just laid out numerous reasons why crypto is here to stay. And it's not my opinion. It's the opinion of several billionaires around the world. The individuals who lead our tech space are all in agreement that cryptocurrency is here to stay. Don't you want a piece of the pie before it's too late? There's 21 million Bitcoin that will ever exist. 3 to 4 million of which are gone. So 18 million Bitcoin will ever be able to be held by individuals. There's about 5 times as many millionaires on the planet than there are Bitcoin. Not every millionaire can hold 1 Bitcoin. Don't you want to hold one? Don't you want to hold one? I do. But this is what I'll say. If that's too much, out of the question, nobody has $30,000 in the bank, I get it. Try to hold 0.1. Because people, mark my words, Bitcoin will be worth millions of dollars in the future. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Because for starters, we had BlackRock. I just showed you how we're going to get to $100,000, right? All they have to do is put 5%. That's just one company. All they have to do is put 5%. One company. We're not even talking about, we're not even talking about Fidelity, individuals. There's trillions of dollars in 401k and retirement plans right now. What if they put 5%? What if Vanguard puts 5%? What if the US government puts 5%? What if China decides? What if we start to see a battle? China tries to acquire Bitcoin, just like we see right now with gold. China and the US and Britain, they're in a battle right now to acquire as much gold as possible. And we're seeing BRICS nations trying to develop their own currency backed by gold. What happens if one country decides to embrace crypto as a currency for their state? What happens if another country decides to join on? What happens if the US and China decide to start an all-out war to acquire as much Bitcoin as possible. There's not enough Bitcoin to go around. That's the bottom line. What if the people that are invested in gold, what happens if these people, I don't see the total market cap. But the total market cap of gold is roughly $10 trillion. What happens if people that are holding gold decide to jump ship and jump into a better, more secure digital asset that can't be stolen from them, like Bitcoin? The price is going to skyrocket. It's simple. It's simple as day. All I'm going to say is this. If you guys made it this far, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Drop a comment down below if you have any questions about anything that I've talked about. If you disagree with me, drop it down below. I don't care. I'm down to talk to you guys. But all I'm going to say is this. Do some research. Do some research. Do some research. Look at how this system works. Don't listen to the news because they fucking lie all the time. Bastards. But you guys have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are. That's really all I have for you guys today. Dylan is out.